Meanwhile, Europe faced its worst day of the outbreak, with 3 European countries recording their highest daily death tolls. Spain and France are the latest countries to impose a lockdown as the number of cases rises fast. Spain is now the second worst affected country in Europe after Italy. The country recorded 97 new deaths in the last 24 hours, bringing the death toll to 288. The number of infected people in Spain increased by 3 times to a whopping 7,753. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's wife has also tested positive for the virus. The government has imposed a total nationwide lockdown, banning people from leaving their homes except for work, medical care or buying food. The measures were introduced as part of a 15-day state of emergency declared by the government. Prime Minister Sanchez has even warned that the number of infections could reach 10,000 in the coming days. Meanwhile, army specialists in protective suits were seen spraying a disinfectant in train stations across Spain. The Spanish military emergency unit continued to monitor the streets of capital Madrid. Police were also arresting cyclists in a sudden clampdown on public life. Spain even followed China's example by using drones to warn citizens. Madrid's police used drones with powerful loudspeakers to ask people walking on the streets to return to their homes. Meanwhile, quarantined Spaniards emerged onto their balconies and windows to cheer and beep horns, saluting the country's emergency services. On the other hand, France's health service has said that the country's healthcare system is deteriorating very fast. The country saw empty streets and shuttered cafes as Prime Minister Edouard Philippe announced restrictions on public life. France has reported 29 new deaths, bringing the country's tally to 120. The country has shut down its most popular tourist spots, including the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre Museum. France also closed all shops, restaurants and entertainment facilities. Ski resorts, usually thronged by tourists, were deserted, with several resorts shutting shop after the ban on all non-essential businesses. But even with the serious restrictions, Parisians and tourists were seen out in the streets, basking in the sun on the banks of the River Seine. Meanwhile, France's far-right leader, Marine Le Pen, asked for the closure of all borders amidst the outbreak.
Mais l'heure n'est pas à la politique et à la détermination des fautes des uns et des autres. L'heure est à la guerre sanitaire et chaque heure compte. Nous sommes clairement engagés dans une course contre la montre dont la santé et la vie de nombre de nos compatriotes dépendent.
Moving on to Germany, where the country will now reintroduce border checks with 5 nations. Germany will temporarily introduce border controls with Austria, Switzerland, France, Luxembourg and Denmark amidst the rising number of cases. Germany now has a total of 4,838 cases with 12 deaths. The United Kingdom also saw a single-day record in the number of deaths with 14 new deaths. But unlike its European counterparts, the United Kingdom is yet to announce any stringent measures or lockdowns. Britain is also set to isolate older people within weeks. Shoppers were faced with large queues and empty shelves as panic buying took over the country. Meanwhile, the European Commission has called for a coordinated response. The bloc will boost production of equipment such as ventilators, test kits and masks, which would then be shared across the European Union. The exports of these products to non-EU countries would also be strictly controlled.